Hey everyone, it's Mike from SEOTpreneur. This is episode number 10 of my TPT Blog question and answer class live stream. And so what I do on Saturdays, right after the Zoom Homework Club and SEOTpreneur Pro, is I talk about some of the things I'm doing on my WordPress blog, my TPT blog, and some of the obstacles that come up. So if you ever have a question about your TPT blog, feel free to ask in the live stream, or feel free to leave a comment. For those of you who are watching this by replay later on, I can go through the comment. It gives me ideas of things that people are asking about, things to talk about. All right, so I'm going to jump right in right here. And something that came up this week, which was super interesting, was there was a problem that prevented TPT sellers on my platform from posting and saving their work. And at the end of the day, the problem was because one of the plugins, All-in-One SEO, there was a glitch in their version that only affected a very specific scenario. So if you were on a multi-site WordPress installation, then there was a conflict that the plugin was causing and you couldn't save, right? And that's a big deal. But from the user's experience, it's just confusing, like, because you're hitting save, it says there's a JSON save error. It's not working. It's frustrating at all. So today I'm going to talk about the problem with WordPress TPT blogs. I'm going to walk us through self-hosted versus WordPress VIP. I'm going to talk about these plugins, which is where the magic of WordPress comes in, how to troubleshoot a broken plugin, and then we're going to look at this case study that came up, which was the All-in-One SEO plugin. Okay, so basically the idea, the theory behind having your own TPT blog is, as TPT sellers, we're creating content, we're on that hamster wheel grinding out content, and then we realize, oh, we need to do marketing or TPT SEO, and we start to do everything. Like, oh, I should have Instagram, I should have Facebook, I should have TikTok, I should have a website, I should have an email list. There's so much to do. You can't do it all at once. You do need to focus. And for me, my game plan is, rather than sending everyone to my product page from different areas, my strategy is I'm going to send everyone to my website. So my website is a domain that I control. I control this domain. I spend like $12 per year. I pay for hosting, and I set up the website the way that I want it. And because that's on my land, once people come to me, I can send them to wherever I want. And so right now it's that product page on my store, but it could easily be somewhere else that I want to send them to. So I'm building my expertise, I'm showing my experience, I'm building trust with the audience, I'm showing that I'm an authority in my TPT product niche through my website. That's the game plan. All right. So the challenge, and by the way, that's masterclass number 2. It'll walk you through how this whole TPT thing works. The challenge with running your own website is, most of us, most teachers, are not computer experts. And so then the question is, do we start on WordPress? Do we start on like a Facebook group? Do we start on Wix, right? Personally, I'm not a fan of Wix because it's a proprietary system, which means you're relying on Wix being there. You can't just export your Wix website and bring it to a different place, right? For the same reason why you can't export your Facebook profile and bring it to your Twitter or X or whatever it's called now, right? So WordPress I love because it's open source. There's lots of WordPress companies that take care of themes or plugins or hosting, and they specialize on a specific thing. So I'm a big fan of WordPress. And WordPress, the power of WordPress is that you can install anything, right? There are plugins that take care of everything. On the SEOTpreneur channel, if I go to youtube.com, there is another episode already here. If I scroll down here, it says, no, not free master classes, live stream show. If I click on that, there's already a previous episode number 4 where we talk about the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org, right? So we're talking about WordPress.org because it allows us to put in the most plugins. And the challenge with WordPress.org, because you need your own hosting, that's why I offer SEOT hosting. But the challenge is then you have to maintain your own site. So just so that we're clear, WordPress has something called WordPress VIP, where basically they will take care of all things WordPress. right? The best companies run on WordPress, so they'll take care of WordPress, the hosting, the plugins. They'll make sure all the plugins work. They'll make sure everything on WordPress VIP works for you, so you can focus on your TPT blog. Okay, in theory, this is a great idea. In practice, none of us can afford WordPress VIP at the starting point, at the game that we're at. So if I go and Google up WordPress VIP pricing, right, it's not actually listed on their page because it is that expensive. It is an enterprise level product. And so if I click on is WordPress VIP pricing plan and cost, here's someone that I can see right here. It costs at $2,000 per month, right? So it's an enterprise solution. But if you pay $2,000 per month, I can just get them to take care of. I'm hiring their software engineers and their product engineers to just make sure the website runs. And then I can focus on the content. If I go to WP VIP beginner, I see they say it's $5,000 to $25,000 per month with a minimum of a $5,000 US dollar setup fee. So if you have the money to buy a mansion, absolutely check out WordPress VIP. TPT sellers, we're solopreneurs at the beginning. We do it all ourselves, which means you're do-it-yourself WordPress. So that's what we're at right now. So let's do it yourself WordPress. And what I'm going to do right now is I have set up my EduCircles website. So this is a problem that happened on both my website and some client websites, a very small number who are doing multi-site. Okay, so basically what this means is we are responsible for updating our own plugins. So you can install any plugins you want. You also have to be responsible for updating your plugins. And so the way that we do that, oh, that's interesting. It's not showing my screen. Why are you not showing my screen? Let's just remove that. Let's just present again. Let's present, share screen. Let's share the entire screen. Here we go. Okay. So now we can see the entire screen. So you have to install your own plugins and update your own plugins. My screen's going to look slightly different from your screen because I'm running WordPress like a network. So I need to go actually over here to plugins. And if I go into the plugin screen, give it a second to think. I'm going to shut down some other things that are running in the background. I'm also streaming right now, which is always going to slow things down. Let's close down some things. So this is my screen. I can install plugins here. This is where I add new plugins. But the most important thing you do before you do anything is you should update your site. Or sorry, back up your site. And the way that I back up my site, so if I go to SEOT hosting, there'll be different ways depending on whether you're using Bluehost, whether you're using SiteGround. If you're on SEOT hosting, which I am, you just click on the hub. And when it logs into the hub, you're going to go into, I'm just going to type up SEOTpreneur because that's the network I'm on. So I have multiple sites up here. I'm going to click on SEOTpreneur. So I'm in the hub right now. And the very first thing I'm going to do before anything is I'm going to back up my site. So here it is. I go click on hosting. I click on backups. There's my Zoom recording. All right. So I have backups and I set it up to back up automatically. Pro tip, if you're on Bluehost, because I've done this too. Bluehost is fantastic. They offer some very great discounts. It's the cheapest here. If you go for the cheapest option, Bluehost, at the time that I look at it, and I'm sure it's right like that right now, Bluehost doesn't offer backups. You have to pay extra for backups. So keep that in mind. You do want to make sure that you back up your site. But I'm going to do a new backup right now, and I'm going to do before update plugins on live stream. So I'm just going to leave a little note here. I'm going to create this backup. The SEOTpreneur Network, if you're an SEOTpreneur Pro member, you get a free WordPress website to play with. So while I'm waiting for this new backup to happen here, what happened was one of the SEOTpreneur Pro members let me know there was a problem when they were trying to update their site, and it just says publishing failed. The response is not a valid JSON response, which is a thing. And one of the things is, yeah, you can't publish. It's frustrating because you can't update things. And that was because of a plugin conflict. So the more plugins you add to your WordPress site, the slower your website runs. But the more complex your website gets, which means because plugins are all made by different authors, things don't always play nicely with each other. And plugin authors are usually pretty good at updating the website to fix it, right? So that's what happened with All-in-One SEO. They produced a plugin fix, and that's how I got updated about this. So I'm going to show you how to update plugins. That's the first part here. Let's see, did I back it up? It's still backing up, and it's going to take a while because it's a large backup. Hey, I just got a message. The backup is complete. So now, if anything goes wrong, all I need to do is I just come back here. I click on restore, and I can go back to this moment in time, right? Because sometimes things go wrong. I made a backup. This is like saving your file. All right, so let's talk about updating our plugins. You can do it manually. You can do it automatically within WordPress. And then on SEOT hosting in the hub, we can do it. We can set it and forget it and set it automatic that way. So I'm going to go plugin here. I can see that there's an update available. All I do is I scroll down here and I click on update now. And I drink coffee. And if everything goes well, it's manually updating. It's looking to see if it can update. This is a free plugin that I network activate, Cadence Block. It is the only theme builder I use. I don't use Elementor. I don't use WP Bakery. I like the simplicity of Cadence Blocks. Hopefully you update everything okay right now because it's a live show, but yeah, no one's watching right now, but people watch afterwards, which I like. All right, so it's thinking. Sometimes things go wrong. I am going to update this on a new page just to see if everything's working under the hood. So it's updating. Did you update okay? No, Mike, I'm thinking. All right. Let's close some of these other tabs. Oh, it updated. All right, so it updated. So now that's how you manually update things. There are other ways to check to see if you have updates. You need to update WordPress core. You need to update your themes. And so on WordPress, there's a section that says dashboard. And then if you click on updates, usually there'll be a big scary number, how many updates you need to do. So this is where you can set up automatic updates for WordPress. I'm going to try to update these plugins, update the plugins, select all. Will you update it? I think. Let's just see what happens here. Buddy Press, Buddy Block, Boss. Those are specific themes and plugins that I purchased for SEOTpreneur to be able to run our Buddy Press network, our social network. So it'll think if anything goes wrong, I have my backup, right? So updated successfully, updated successfully, updated successfully, and then it disables maintenance mode. So if you actually visited at the split second it was maintaining, there would be like a message saying, hey, the site is down because it's updating. All right, so I've updated. That's how I manually update things. If I go into plugins, right, the other way to update things is you can set WordPress to automatically update or try to automatically update. So let's go into the plugins. Here I am in the plugins. And you can see there's a section here that says auto updates enabled. And WordPress has this system that allows us to auto update, right? So some of them are auto updated, not all of them are. So if I click on all within WordPress itself, I can click on enable auto updates. And what that'll do is WordPress, the server, the WordPress installation will try to update it if it's possible. All right. That's not actually how I do it. The way that I do it is I use something, the web hosting that we provide, SEOT hosting, has an automate feature in here. And if I show you what that looks like here, so here I am, I've logged into SEOT hosting. There's a section up here that says automate and updates. So automate and updates, basically, it's not perfect. And in fact, these manual updates 3, I think I just updated. So I'm just going to resync the updates. It's going to tell me if anything is waiting to be updated. Right? So it says the theme still needs to be updated. Basically, what I do is I go into automate. Hello. I don't want to. Why are you still thinking? All right, let's just reload this. So what I do for my sites and my client site is I use the hosting to automatically update here. So I click on automate, and basically what happens is I set it to automate everything, but if a plugin doesn't automatically update, if the system has problems trying to automatically update it, then it'll turn it off. It'll say, hey, I can't automatically update this. You're going to have to do it manually. So what I do is I update it manually. So there's one manual update here. So if I click back here, manual update, I'll see if I can update the theme from here. Let's update this. This is the Buddy Boss theme. Because it's a custom paid theme, it may not update. Oh, no, everything's up to date. All right. So I manually updated, but now I have to return on the automatic updates. So I'm going to do that right now here. Auto update all. So I turn it on. I'm going to turn it off just so you can see what the onboarding sequence like. Here we go. So when I first click on automate, it says, hey, the safest and most powerful automatic WordPress update manager. And it literally saves me so much time, like for my sites and my client sites, because 99% of the time, everything is wonderful. I'm going to set it to auto update all. All right. I'm going to hit continue. Set it to update every 6 hours. Hit it to continue. All right. Auto backup, so automatically backs up the whole thing. If anything goes wrong, I can always go back. And then this is the sweet spot. It can do a safe update check. So sometimes if you update a plugin, the plugin will update, but it breaks the site and things change. So I'm going to set it to check the home page. Did everything update okay? And the way it's going to define okay is as long as things haven't changed more than 25%, the update went fine. But if things break and things are very different, it's going to say, whoa, that didn't work out, and it's going to re-roll the backup. So I'm going to set it for a 25% change. I don't want an update every time, although maybe I should, because I'll talk about more with the all-in-one SEO update. Because if I knew when every update happened and when things were updated, it might help me figure out which plugin update broke my site. But the reality I've discovered is it's just noise, because you get an email every update every 6 hours saying everything went fine, or this plugin was updated, and my brain can't actually remember what updated. So I actually set it for a weekly summary. So then I can just sort of check to see if everything's okay. And so now everything is set for auto update every 6 hours. I'll get an email, which I will ignore. I won't really pay attention to that. So that's how I automatically update my plugins. And 99% of the time, 90% of the time, things are fine. Nothing exciting happens. The problem is every now and then something goes wrong. For example, it'll say like, hey, we can't actually fix your site. Like something all of a sudden went wrong. Right? And your site, for whatever reason, doesn't work, right? And then, it's very discouraging because you can't get anything done. So what do? All right. If you were on WordPress VIP and you were paying $20,000 a month, this is not your problem. You simply go and you say, hey, the site's down. Can you go fix it? Right? Or go fix it because I'm paying $20,000. And they fix it. And you don't have to deal with that. We are not paying $20,000 a month. We're paying like $50 a month, $30 a month, which means it's do it yourself. When things go wrong, you've got to fix it, or you've got to get someone to fix it. If in my sink in the kitchen, there was a leak, right? I could figure out how to fix it, but I'm not going to fix it because that's not a good use of my time. So I hired a plumber. The plumber came in. They told me, yeah, this is what I have to fix, but actually this is a problem because this isn't looking up right. The angle is not right. So I'm paying for their expertise to fix things, right? So at some point, if you're running WordPress hosting, whether you're with Bluehost, SiteGround, SEOT hosting, whoever, you may need to hire a WordPress developer to fix a problem for you, right? And that's custom development. That happens. That's a thing. All right, so I'm going to walk you through how to figure out what went wrong with your site. And it might be the hosting, right? So the first time is you've got to reach out to the hosting, because it might be like, oh yeah, they just changed servers, or in their error logs, the host can look to see what the error logs, and they'll probably say, actually, this isn't because of us. It could be because of a security setting you have on Cloudflare. The error could be because you're running limited resources. So if you're getting problems on a shared host like Bluehost or SiteGround, the problem could be because you've just overloaded the server, right? You need to upgrade your server. Or the problem could be, actually, there's nothing wrong here. You're going to have to figure out what the conflict is by turning off the plugins one by one, turning off the theme, and then figuring out what went wrong. Okay, so in this case, in the case that happened on SEOT hosting, the problem was, right, we figured it out. Oh, that's a different question over here. But we figured out on this, how can I view this? Can I view this? Problem solved. So I posted a Loom video here with the solution, but the problem had to be with a very specific version of all-in-one SEO. I've got 10 minutes to try to walk us through. Let's see if I can do this. So I've backed up my plugins. I'm going to recreate the problem. I'm going to go into the dashboard here. I'm going to install the faulty version of all-in-one SEO. Am I doing this on a live site? Yes, I am. Because life is like that, right? Should you do this on a live site? No, you should not. So the bigger companies, they do things on a staging site as opposed to their production server. But when you're little like me, we play around with a production server. Not a good idea, but that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so I have all-in-one SEO. I have some other like the add-ons plugin, but I don't have all-in-one SEO installed right now. So I'm going to add it. I'm going to click on add new. I'm going to upload the plugin because I have the plugin and I have it here. So all-in-one SEO, I've downloaded it a few times. 4.4.6 is the working version. And they had a beta version when they discovered, like, people were saying, hey, this is a problem. And so they published the beta version. 4.4.5.1 was the broken version. So let's just upload this. Oops. Here, let's just move this over. Okay, choose file. There we go. Install now. So it's installing the old version of of all-in-one SEO Pro free. This could have happened with all-in-one SEO. It could have happened with Yoast. It could have happened with any plugin. Things go wrong. Vulnerabilities are detected. That's why you have to sort of keep. Okay, so replace current with uploaded. Oh, it is uploaded. Okay, 4.4.5.1. Okay, so I have the current version here. Let's go to the installed version. Let's turn it on and see how it breaks the site. Installed plugin. All right. Why didn't I see that? All-in-one SEO Pro. Let's see if I can find this. All right, all-in-one SEO. Oh, there it is. All-in-one SEO Pro. It's not active. I'm going to network activate it. All right, so it's turning on. And one of my sites is EduCircles. I don't know why it's not there. Actually, let's just go into SEOTpreneur Pro. So if I go to SEOTpreneur Pro, here's the problem that happened. So all-in-one SEO Pro is now active. I'm loading this new page. Here's a test post. Will it save? Question mark. And if I hit save draft, boom, there's the error that we saw. Updating failed. The response is not a JSON response. If you're more technical, you can sort of start to figure out what the error codes are. Status of 500, so you can pull up what the error is. Sorry, you're not allowed to, there's a forbidden message here. It gives you a status code. The people on the back end, like the hosting company, can look in to see what the error logs are. And then eventually it becomes, okay, you're going to have to turn off all the plugins to figure out what went wrong. All right. So now we come over here into installed plugins. And what we do is we go to active plugins. And what we're going to do is on the active plugins, we're going to turn off. I love it. Here we go. Give it a second to think. SEOTpreneur Pro is actually running too many plugins. I have to pay for a lot of server power for this to work. I'm going to bulk action, network deactivate, apply. So I'm turning off all these plugins. because I'm trying to figure out what's broken. All right, so I turn off all the plugins. And then the other thing that we have to do, because sometimes it's not just the plugins that might be broken, it might be the theme. There's a lot of theme custom code, depending on what theme you're using. It doesn't matter if you're using a free theme or a paid theme. The theme can be a source of problems. So you have to go to the theme under appearance. Where are you, appearance? Achievements, appearance, themes. Okay, so when you are debugging things, right? So we did a backup. We have to disable all the plugins and themes. So I'm on SEOTpreneur. I'm on the site. I'm on this Buddy Boss child theme, but you have to switch it to 2023, 2024, 2022, because those are updated by WordPress, like the software, the free software, and it's designed to always work. So now if I go to my website, I've gotten rid of all themes, so all plugins. It's now a horrible looking basic things. And the question is, can I save the post? That was the problem. It was a JSON error. Okay, so can I save this post? Save draft. No, something still did not work. Okay, so what is still not working? I'm on SEOTpreneur PRO. I turned off the network plugins. Now I have to turn off any plugins active on this site. This is an extra step if you are running a multi-site network. It doesn't apply if you're running a simple single site WordPress install. So there's only one place to turn on plugins if you're a single site. So let's give it a second to think. Let's check to see if there are any plugins. All right, so I can see on SEOTpreneur, there are 53 plugins that are active on this specific site. And when you run multi-site WordPress, you can have multiple WordPress sites on your WordPress installation and pick and choose which plugins work. And I can see here all-in-one SEO. Oh, it says it's network active. Let's deactivate all. Give it a second to think. All right, so normally, when you deactivate plugins from within WordPress, that works fine and things work fine. But sometimes the glitch is preventing you from deactivating the plugin from the front end. This is called the front end, or this is actually the back end, right? So selected plugins are deactivated. It still thinks some plugins are network activated. If I go back here, this is the network admin. If I refresh this, is there anything network activated? Active. Did I not network deactivate these? Network deactivate, apply. Maybe something went wrong. It's still updating here. So I'm looking to make sure all my plugins are deactivated. The way to actually deactivate, and this is, let's just refresh this. I think it just says inactive. Did it not say network deactivated? Active. Okay, so now what I have to do, if I can't deactivate the plugins, I've got to go into the folder. And this is where if you have hosting support, you can say, hey, can you deactivate this? And this is something they can do. They can go into the hosting server. So let's go into SEOTpreneur. Okay, and I'm going to connect to the remote site. Here it is. WP content. I'm going to go into my plugins. I know all-in-one SEOTpreneur PRO is the problem. And all I do to deactivate it is deactivate. Is if I rename it on the live server, then it can't, the WordPress can't find where that file is saved. And so then it'll be forced to deactivate, right? It'll say, hey, it's been deactivated because it can't find it due to this plugin, right? So it'll network deactivate that. So I know that that was the culprit. If I go into add new and reload this page, woohoo, I have someone watching. Welcome on board. This is a long episode. I'm wrapping it up. But basically what I've done is I've step-by-step walked through how to update plugins, how to save the backup. And now I'm just troubleshooting something very quickly. Let's get rid of this. Let's reload this. Reload. Changes may not be saved. Backup is different. Can I save? Can I save this post? please work. And if I hit save draft, will you save? Now I can save. And it's because I've deactivated that faulty plugin. So the way to figure out which plugin was the culprit, because I'm going to run out of time. It doesn't think I've deactivated these plugins, and it's causing a glitch. And so what I would have to do is I would have to go in and deactivate each one. What I would do now that I know that I can save this, is I have to turn on each theme and each plugin once, one by one, to see if I can find the conflict. So what I would do right now, so for example, I have this here. This was able to work. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to go to my themes, and I'm going to say, I used to have the Buddy Boss theme. So I'm going to activate this Buddy Boss theme. Give it a second to load. Hi, buddy. That's a great onboarding thing. So it says I've updated. Let's view the site. This is the Buddy Boss theme. Okay. Now that the Buddy Boss theme is activated, have I reintroduced the thing that was broken? Can I save this post? Oh, capitalization is important. Let's try saving this. All right. It's saved. Okay, so now I'm trying to find out which plugin was causing that problem. Okay, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to plugins. I'm going to click on recently active. Recently active. So I'm going to turn them on one by one. Is it the Buddy Boss platform? Actually, I guess it's this one here. This is the top one. Let's go in order. It says it can't be used because it's waiting for something else, but let's just go back here. Can I save this post? Save draft. Yep, still able to do it. All right, I'm going to activate the next plugin. Does this work? I'll save the draft. I'm still able to save. Yep, I'm going to go to the next one. Activate. So I go by one, trying to find that broken post. Can I save? Right? I can still save. Spoiler alert. I know it's all-in-one SEO because I've already gone through all of these one by one. All-in-one SEO. Where are you? Oh, it has to be network activated. That's why. So if I go into plugins. All right. So all-in-one SEO Pro, I'm going to network activate that. So I would one by one do this. I'm just for the sake of time jumping to the problem. I'm going to network activate this. It's going to try to install. Some plugins can only be network activated if you're in multi-site. This is one of those plugins. So now if I get, did it work? Did this work? Save draft? No. So I can see because I installed that plugin and now the error message shows up, it means that plugin's the problem, right? So then I just Google all-in-one SEO plugin. So you can see my past, not a valid JSON response, right? And I'm looking specifically to see what people see. I'm getting a lot of things about other plugins. JSON response is a thing. So I'm going to go all-in-one SEO plugin. I'll put quotation marks to force it. Right, critical vulnerability. If I just go all-in-one SEO plugin, maybe that one is how to fix the JSON error. Here we go. So this is the post that I found that someone else had posted here. And they said, yeah, they had the same error where they were using the free version, but still the same thing. They get the error failed to response. And then the publisher said, hey, we already have a fix on the issue. And then reach out to get the beta question form. So I did that too back in the day. And they gave me the beta version, right? That was before they published the live version. The live version is up and running right now. So if I go into all-in-one SEO, manage auto updates. So I'm going to actually, I'm going to update this all-in-one SEO. Will you update it from here? Am I on the network admin? Hey, let's add the new plugin. I could auto update it, but I'm actually going to update it from, I'll upload the plugin. So let's go here, all-in-one. I'm going to choose the most recent version. Install now. It'll ask me if I want to overwrite. So give it a second. 3 of you are watching. I love that you're watching. Thank you. Wrapping it up, this is how you troubleshoot. It's a live, it walked through the whole process of how to, it's updating the version of SEO. Oh, you know what it is? It's because I renamed it. I'm going to rename this because otherwise there's 2 versions. I really do want to deactivate that. Okay, so I'm deleting that from the live, from the server version. Hello. It's going through at the bottom here. It's deleting all of the files. All right, give it a second to think, because otherwise I'll have a conflict. I'll have 2 all-in-one SEOs. Let's live on the edge. Let's network activate this. Oh, there's been a critical error because there's been 2 versions of it. All right, it's trying to delete all of these things. A critical error means something has broken in the plugins. At this point of the game, I would panic, because that means that chances are on the front end, my website has gone down, right? That's not a good thing for a production server. That's why when you get big, we don't play with the live site. We play with the staging site, and then we push that forward. But at our stage of the TPT seller game, the solopreneur, we don't have the energy or time or the expertise to do it on a staging site. So at this point of the game, what I would have done is I would go into SEOT, into the hub, right? I would go into the hub and I would have just click on that restore button. But let's see, I know what the issue is because I'm deleting things from the back end here. It did delete it. Let's see if I'm able to get through here right now. This is the hub. Let's see if I'm able to reload the page without the critical error. So now there's only 1 version of All-in-One SEO Pro. I'm going to network activate that. This is the version 4.4.6. There's the free version. There's the pro version. I'm activating the pro version. And the question is, can I see if it saves? Right? So here it is. I've activated it. And I will go to my front site here. This is SEOTpreneur. I'm going to reload the page. Let's reload this page. Can I save this post? Did it save? This is with the newest version of All-in-One SEO. And yes, the answer is yes. Okay, bottom line. If I just left it on auto update and I didn't publish during that time that All-in-One SEO had this very unique glitch with multi-site, then I never would have noticed this problem. But the reality with do-it-yourself WordPress, which is what TPT sellers like you and I are using, right? The reality is things do go wrong every now and then. Sometimes this is something that hosting can help you figure out. So hosting might have been able to say, hey, let's turn off the plugins one by one. Or they might have been able to say, hey, here's how you do it. Or they might have said, like, I'll go into the back to disable things. But eventually, because it's do-it-yourself, and because, for context, WordPress VIP charges $5,000 to $25,000 per month. That's how much it costs to have like enterprise level service. We have to accept that if we're doing it ourselves, sometimes things go wrong, things aren't ideal. So basically, worst case scenario is you would go back to your backup, you restore it. And this is where you might have to go into Fiverr to find a WordPress developer. Hey, what's wrong with my site? Lots of people on Fiverr. If you're an SEOTpreneur in the pro forums, you can always ask your question there. I tried this didn't happen. I can try to help you out there. But yeah, these things happen. So what am I going to do right now? I am going to go back into my hub and I'm going to restore this backup that I have. I'm going to type restore. I'm going to click confirm restore. Restoring a backup will delete your current staging environment. That's okay. So it's going to delete everything. It's going to reinstall SEOTpreneur Pro because I'm heading out to Toronto right now, so I don't have time to undo what I just did. But thankfully, I don't have to. It's restoring it, and life is good. If you have any questions about WordPress, TPT blogs, plugins, SEOTpreneur hosting, getting your TPT blog up and running with Unfair Advantage, leave a comment, and I will get back to you. Thank you all for watching the replay, or the one person who's still watching right now. You rock, and have a fantastic weekend. Bye-bye now. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, beep, beep.